love yours. No such thing. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. Don't be sleeping on your level, cause it's beauty in the struggle, nigga. Goes for all y'all. It's beauty in the struggle, nigga. Explain. Yeah. It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city and know sometimes we had less. Compared to some of my niggas down the block, man, we were blessed. And life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. But I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Does all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind? Cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. Think being broke was better. A life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Think being broke was better. A life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. For what's money without happiness? Or hard times without the people you love? Though I'm not sure what's about to happen next, I ask for strength from the Lord up above, cause I've been strong so far, but I can feel my grip loosening. Quick, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good, and touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons cause they always inviting more. Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt, cashing minimal checks. Turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely, and as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. Long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tours, but you ain't never gonna be happy till you love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. Love yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived.
With the pain, prayers with the grind. Trauma in my DNA, but I still realign. Roots in the dirt, spirit in the ceiling. This ain't just therapy, this that blended healing. Concrete rose, yeah, I bloom through the feeling. Tapped in the truth in these healing realms. Stitching my soul in them blended healing realms. Bless her. From the stoop to the shrine, I've been earning my life. Didn't pray for a savior, had to learn how to fight. Burning sage like incense, but my spirit don't fold. Still got pain in my pocket and this mic I hold. I ain't soft, I'm sacred, that's strength in disguise. Eye to eye with my demons, I ain't blinking this time. Broke every curse that was signed in my blood. Now I dance in the storm, make a walk out the mud. Meditating in chaos, peace in the noise. Built a temple from trauma, turn my cries into voice. Crystals in my hoodie, cards in my palm. Yeah, I tear it through the trenches and I'm psalm through the psalms. Word.
Whispers in the wind say keep going. My past ain't changed, it's gold, I'm growing. Every wound is a prayer in disguise. I bleed truth and I rise.
I mix sage with the pain, prayers with the grind. Still trauma in my DNA, but I still realign. Every roots in the dirt, spirit in the ceiling. This ain't just therapy, this that blended healing. Concrete rose, yeah, I bloom through the feeling. Tapped in the truth in these healing realms. Stitching my soul in the blended healing realms. Blended healing realms.
50 pieces of silver. Is that my worth? Is that your worth? This story from the Bible was shared for a reason, and I'm going to park that right here. Let's be clear. That number, that's somebody else's story. Betrayal in their assignment. They tied themselves to what someone offered them, what they took and what the other person settled for when dealing with them. No harm, no foul, no judgment zone here though. But back to you. Your worth could never be a payout or a bargaining chip. Not even an energy exchange. Real talk, what you're feeling right now isn't about the proverbial exchange of 50 pieces of silver. It's about disappointment and realizing someone handled you some type of way. And that right there is more hurtful than the action itself. For real, for real. Here's the truth. You already know. But you just needed to hear it out loud. Nobody gets to put a price on you. They can't set your value. And if someone treated you like you were worth 50 pieces of silver, all that tells you is that they're already broken in spirit long before they even crossed your path. So ask the real question. Is that your worth? Or is that what someone with limited vision thought that they can get away with? 50 pieces of silver. It's not about money. It's a reaction of emotion. You're talking about the feeling of being traded, dismissed, or swapped out like you didn't even matter. Someone who smiles in your face while making moves behind your back. You're talking about that Judas energy that comes through people who swear they're down for you. But the moment they see a chance to benefit, they're going to flip. It's never the people that you expect to pull this. It's the one who was close enough to you to reach out and touch you. That's why it feels as though you've been in a physical fight. It's not the action itself. And to keep it a buck, you expect people to move shady. You know what I mean? It's who did it to you, playing in your face. And this is not the first time you're going to go through it. And it damn sure ain't going to be the last. But that doesn't make it any easier than that. It's not just betrayal again. It's the pattern, the replay, and the confusion of asking yourself how someone with access to you in your heart could treat you like a transaction. You gave them the best and the worst of you authentically, unguarded. And they chose to shortcut anyway. That's Judas energy. Someone who benefits from your presence but can't handle your strength, your intuition, or the fact that you see more than you speak on. Someone who walks with you but has a separate agenda and who wants the look of a connection but not the responsibility that comes with it. But listen, because this part's important. Being sold doesn't mean you were worth selling. It means that they didn't measure up when they stood beside you in trust. They were looking for an exit long before you even know that you needed to protect yourself. Some people can't handle that level of truth or loyalty or vision you walk with. So they choose to move the way that they thought was best. Judas didn't win. He exposed himself. And that's what's happening here. You're being shown who can't go any further with you. Let me ask you this. Is the betrayal coming from someone who wanted a front row seat but didn't want the discipline that comes with loyalty? Or from someone who couldn't stand your ascension anymore and needed an out? Think on those things. Like I said, no harm, no foul, no judgment zone here. I think the older I get, the more I observe things that are happening around me, to me, people I care about. People I just watch, people I like. And in some cases, people that I don't like. But it's just human nature. Who are we to judge anybody? But this type of shit right here, it hits different. Especially if they can reach out and touch you on the shoulder. That's why this is 50 pieces of silver. Is that all you're worth? I'm worth. Is that all you're worth? A transaction. Welcome to Blended Healing. We're here today. Sometimes you got to trust the timing of your life. Just because you don't have it all figured out doesn't mean that you're behind. Your timing is your timing. And what's unfolding for you is very sacred. You're being prepared for it. Every little thing is adding up, even when it doesn't always make sense. Sometimes all you can do is trust in divine timing. I'll be right back after this.
You're tuned into Lady K's Lounge, where soul speaks first. Hey, yeah. She don't need to announce her presence, she just steps in, and the room remembers who she is. This is Lady K. Her crown don't slip, with attitude and ease. Oh, she don't walk, she glides through smoke and prayers. Velvet nights and hair heavy with stares. Queen of the hush, she don't need no sound. You feel her presence before she's around. She's thunder and silk, a stone with grace. Lighting candles just by showing face. Glowing in her space. Lady K, your crown don't slip, even when the world tries to make you trip. Lady K, your fire don't fade. You were born a star.
Please like, share, and subscribe to Lady K. I don't know, she changes her name so many times, but she's still Lady K. Everybody knows who she is. She's a wonderful content creator that plays music and gives you affirmations and something that you can really appreciate. A breath of fresh air. I appreciate her because Lady K is always the same. She never changes. And when somebody comes around that uplifts you, you got to acknowledge them and give them their flowers while they're on this side. Salute to you, Lady K. Please like, share, and subscribe. Going back to what we were talking about, the question I left you with. Let's say it's both. That cut goes real deep because it means that you were dealing with people who had two separate motives running at the same time. One part of them wanted to be close because being near you gave them access to your mind, strength, how you move, your energy, and maybe perhaps your connections and your vision. But the other part felt or feels threatened, jealous, and wanted to shine without the responsibility. And that part needed an escape route where they didn't have to admit their own weakness. So what did they do? They stayed close enough to study you, but far enough to betray you. They benefit from you and resent you at the same time. They walk with you and undermine you. They act loyal and look for a moment to cash out, even if the payment is nothing but ego. Watch out now. It's about to get real deep. For real, for real, for real. You already felt it coming. You saw the switch up. The pauses in the conversations and how they moved around you and watched them pull back emotionally while still trying to keep a grip on accessing you. You didn't misread it. You just hoped that you were wrong. You see, when betrayal comes from someone who both wants to stand beside you, or do they want to compete with you? That's someone who was never going to last. They were seasonal. Stop trying to make these seasonal people a part of your life. They're here to teach you a lesson or to show you something to help in your elevation. Knowledge is power. Do yourself a favor and recognize it for what it really is. Sometimes people aren't built for your lane, and your growth makes that very clear. Lean in, and let me say this directly. They didn't break you. They revealed themselves, and now you're free to move around the cabin. Let me ask you another question. Are you feeling it the hardest? Either in the trust and disappointment, or in the fact that you saw it coming and hoped for better? Ask yourself that. When betrayal, right, hits on all levels, truth be told, you were never ready to brace. You weren't bracing for it because you didn't see it coming. You kind of did, but you didn't. But the impact of it, regardless of which way you saw it or may have saw it coming, doesn't make it hurt any less. You were hurt because the trust was taken, and you didn't give that lightly. You gave it because you believed that the bond was real and the connection was genuine and the loyalty was mutual. The disappointment messed you up because you saw the potential. You poured into that connection. You gave them understanding and the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, the worst one of all is that you felt it coming. That's the one that keeps replaying and messing with your head. You weren't blindsided. You knew. Your intuition was jumping up and down, and you ignored your own intuition because you didn't want to believe someone you let in could flip on you like that. It's not that I should have known better. It's I knew, and I hoped it wasn't what I thought. Perhaps you're grieving three things at one time. The loss of what you thought was a bond, the loss of who you thought they were, and the loss of who you were with them. Let me tell you where you're stronger than you feel right now. You didn't break, you woke up. And not everybody deserves proximity to you. Not even the familiar ones. Some people cash out on the connection because they can't carry the responsibility of real loyalty. They cashing out, closing up shop, because staying solid requires integrity that they may not have. Let me ask you something else. Is the pain that you're feeling right now coming more from losing them or from realizing they never valued you the way that you valued them? Ask yourself that. I'll be right back.
She wrote it in the rhythm of the trees. Talk sweet, pour, calm like teas. Queen cows with the herbs that speak. She the balance when your soul feel weak. From plan to place, you walk with grace. Tinctures that kiss you into place. This ain't a trend, this ancient flow. She don't heal you, she helps you grow, yeah. She dropped that lemon balm in the brew. Talk to the leaves like they kinfolk too. From seed to sip, it's alignment work. Holistic hands, love laced in dirt. Queen Kells, that soul on the rise. She don't sell dreams, she real with the vibes. Got jars on the shelf like blessings in glass. Reminding your spirit to slow down fast. No rush, just rhythm. She the pause in the system. Where the world wanna numb, she say feel. That's the kind of magic that heals for real. In the rhythm of the trees. Talk sweet, pour, calm like teas. Queen Kells with the herbs that speak. She the balance when your soul feel weak. From plant to plate, she walk with grace. Tinctures that kiss you into place. This ain't a trend, it's ancient flow. She don't heal you, she helps you grow.
It's official. I just changed your name, Kells. It's Big Kells on the mic. Big Kells is doing big things. You know what I'm saying? She's moving in leaps and bounds, man. I'm so proud of her. My COC sister. Let me tell you why. Matter of fact, let me show you why. I'm so proud of Kels doing the damn thing. Let's go, Kels. Big Kels in the building.
Skin like velvet, oils got me blessed. Every drop a ritual, every move finesse. Candles lit, steady or set high. When I walk in the room, watch the envy go. Essentials only keep it real, no stress. Glow from the roots, yeah we shine, nothing less. Drip so divine, body magic in the air. Chimeka got the vibe. She rooted in the rhythm of the trees. Talk sweet, pour, calm like teas. Queen Kels with the herbs that speak. She the balance when your soul feel weak. From plant to place, you walk with grace. Tinctures that kiss you into place. This ain't a trend, this ancient flow. She don't heal you, she helps you grow, yeah. She dropped that lemon balm in the brew. Talk to the leaves like they kinfolk too.
Big Kels in the building. You can now get Kels tinctures on www.shamakaessentials.com. Just click on the holistic link and you can see all the offerings and pairings that we have together and her separately. She's doing big things over there. Salute to you, Big Kels. Shamaka Essential Blend South. I appreciate you. And as always, welcome to the family. Big COC energy. Let's continue. I don't want to be labeled as the pain lady or death, doom, and destruction or anything like that. I just consider myself giving you something to think about. Just like my brain be working all the time. You see, when I ask you those questions, right? When the pain comes from losing them, it means that the bond, at least on your side, was real. You weren't pretending. You cared, you built, you trusted, you invested. And when you lose someone you truly cared about, betrayal doesn't cancel that overnight. You can't just flip a switch, you know what I'm saying? And it'll go away. No. You feel the hole they leave behind, even if they're the one who created it. You're grieving the person that you thought they were. The relationship that you believed that y'all had. The future you assumed that they'll be a part of. It's a human feeling, man. And it's very honest. A lot of people can't be that honest. But let me tell you what's underneath that grief. You didn't lose them today. You lost them slowly months ago when their energy started turning and being a little funny. That's when you lost them. When their decisions became inconsistent with the connection. And what you're feeling today is just a final break that you can't ignore anymore. Because the grief is real. You love them, trusted them, let them close, meant what you said, you showed up. But let me tell you something that's going to make you feel a little bit easier. Losing someone who betrayed you isn't the same as losing someone who you loved. It feels like a loss right now because the attachment was real. But the reality You were losing somebody that was already slipping away. And the reason why you're hurting is because you're wired to care deeply. You bond hard. You don't live in any halfway. It's either this way or that way. You know what I mean? It ain't never really middle of the road, and anybody tells you that they're dealing with middle of the road is bullshit. For real. For real. People think in black and white, not gray. They'll tell you it's gray, but it's black and white. Everything happens for a reason. Everything. You didn't get betrayed because you were unworthy and they got 50 pieces of silver. You got betrayed because they weren't capable. And losing somebody like that doesn't erase your value, it exposes theirs. I done said it. Let me ask you something else. Let me ask you something. Did you miss them? Do you miss them? Or do you miss the version of them that you thought that you had? Thoughts? Think about that. Think about it. Let's keep it 100. If you are missing the version of them and not the actual person, that means that your bond that you were holding wasn't the real them. It was built on the potential that you saw, the intentions that you assumed, the loyalty that you expected, and the connection that you believe the two of y'all shared. You were holding on to what they pretended to be or who you thought they were or who you hoped that they would grow into. Now who they consistently showed you who they were. That hits a little crazier, man, because it feels like losing two people at the same time. The one you thought you knew and the one that they revealed themselves to be. You're mourning the illusion and not the reality. That's what you're mourning. You ain't losing. You lost the story that you built around it. And that story was chef's kiss. Because you made it that way. Your loyalty shaped it. You hoped to keep it alive. And your heart gave it depth. That actual person or the persons, they never lived up to the version that you carried in your spirit. So now the pain isn't why did they go? It's why couldn't they be who I thought they were? I say it 1,000 times. Everybody is an individual. Everybody. It is unfair to you and it's unfair to them to expect them to be who you expect them to be. Who and how you expect them to move. It's unfair. They do the things that they do and you do the things that you do. And the only person that you're responsible for is you and how you move and your actions. And did you learn from the lessons that were placed in front of you? Point blank, period. And I know that stings. Because that's the part that makes it replay everything in your mind. The part that makes you question yourself, even when you know better. You can't lose what never existed. You can only release it. So right now, you're in that release phase. The painful, the honest part where your heart and your reality are finally catching up to each other. Let me ask you something else. Because this is where the healing starts. If the real them had shown up from the beginning, no mask, no potential, no promise, would you have ever let them into your space? Would you? If you said yes, because I think that most people would probably say yeah, because you don't have any expectation. You're building for the most part. And that's the part that makes it hurt even deeper. You root for the underdog. Yeah. You see people pass what they show you, and you give people a chance when life already counted them out. You give them grace. They didn't even know how to receive. You poured your belief into people who never had anyone stand in their corner. Not like you. That's who you are. That's your wiring. And that's why this is slapping you all upside your head right now. Because you didn't pick them for what they had. You picked them for what you saw in them. Sometimes rooting for the underdog makes you vulnerable to people who don't know how to carry loyalty. Because underdogs come with two paths. Two. Some rise and honor the one who believed in them, and some get addicted to being carried and flip as soon as accountability shows up. Poof. Sometimes the ones who love being seen but can't handle being supported take your belief as comfort. Sometimes they may grow resentful because your strength shows them their weakness. Mind blowing, right? Yeah. We here today. We talking about it. I need y'all to catch your life. For real. Catch your life. You know, when they talk about being on the freeway and everybody's going which way and everything, cutting people off, and it's all packed and everybody's going in the same damn direction, but everybody's trying to get around everybody. That's what the hell that feels like. You stuck. And you're trying to maneuver your way out, going from the left lane to the right lane to the middle lane. Sometimes even riding on the side of the damn road to try to get ahead. But at the end of the day, there's an accident up ahead, and you can't even get around that. So now you still stuck. So how do you handle the emergency? Surrendering. That's how. Surrendering to divine timing and knowing. Surrender. Because at the end of the day, you have to sit there anyway. until it's time to move. And that's where you spend some time with your mind. That's where you get your education and your knowledge. That's where you get your observations. And that's where you ask yourself the real hard questions. And you start looking in that mirror. You know, when you pull the sun visor down, you look in the mirror. Now you start looking in the mirror at you, asking yourself these hard questions. You're sitting there hurting, not because not because you lost a person, it's because you lost a project. And that's the heart of it. You lost someone you were genuinely trying to lift. You lost someone you saw potential in when they couldn't see it themselves. All right. Let me tell you something. Rooting for the underdog isn't the problem. It's rooting for the wrong underdog. That's the problem. Because some people ain't underdogs. They're just unhealed, unaccountable, unpredictable. And they hide under the underdog ego because it gives them sympathy without growth. You didn't misread them. You just believed that they would rise to meet the version that you saw. Yeah, I'm keeping it up. I'm asking questions. Let me ask you something else. Did you ever actually try to grow with someone and then you ask yourself, are they trying to grow or is it just you? Because you thought y'all were growing together, right? Or did you misconstrue that and they just leaned on you because you made their world easier? Ask yourself those questions. Ask. Let's say that they leaned on you, right? And if they did, what did they learn? What did you show them? Did you see any growth, any stretching, any rising? Or they just leaned? And you leaning feels like connection at first. But eventually you realize that they weren't matching your effort. They were dependent on it. You weren't dealing with no underdog. You were dealing with someone who got comfortable with you carrying the weight, carrying the insight, carrying the emotional baggage, and carrying the bond. They weren't building with you. They were benefiting from you. And when somebody benefits without contributing, without growing, and without stabilizing themselves, betrayal isn't a surprise. It's a pattern waiting for the right moment to snap. Let's keep it a buck. You ain't lose a partner. You lost a responsibility that you didn't realize that you took on. You weren't the equal. You were the lifeline. And when people who refuse to grow find a new place to lean or gets triggered by accountability or feels exposed by your strength, they're going to flip, fold, lash out, and betray. Point blank, period. You're going to learn these things, man. I'm telling you. You're going to learn these things. The older you get, the more you know. Trust. Been through lifetimes of stuff. And it ain't even age related sometimes. It's how old is your spirit? How old is your spirit? But don't get it twisted. Being mature and being on this planet longer than most and still counting. You get to see some things in your life that you see repeated over and over and over again. Same shit, different people. So when it comes your way, you recognize it. Once you collect yourself and bring yourself back to yourself. But the longer you live, you'll see it play out over and over and over again. That's what I'm talking about. So 50 pieces of silver, that ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, here's the thing that you really need to think about. How are you going to respond? I didn't say react. I said respond. Answer that honestly. Because right now, I know that you're probably feeling like you need to do something. Like, I can't sit here in this. I got to do something. No, sit your ass down and sit in for me. React. It's going to get you into some shit. Responding, however, is something totally different. Because when you respond, you have the ability to drop the mic and keep it pushing. When you react, it constantly and continuously keeps going. And on that note, I'm going to stop this right now, right here. I think I made my point. I think I did. 50 pieces of silver is a metaphor. Your worth is so much more than that. Don't let anybody count you out, count you down, count over you, or anything like that. Once you go through the emotions of it, because you will, and it'll happen over and over again, because we all got our own cycles of how we deal with things. We all got our own cycles on how we deal with things. Mad, sad, upset, lash out, calm down, take the lesson. Repeat. Everybody has their own cycle of doing things, man. Like I said, don't expect them to react and be the way that you want them to be. Everybody's an individual. You just got to get to the place of understanding it and moving on. Even though it still hurts and you may not get the closure that you want. May not be the ending that you thought it was going to be. That's the funny thing about dealing with people. Because you never know how they're going to act or react. Or how they're going to move. You can only predict so far. But some of us has a little bit more attunement and can already see the handwriting on the wall once they get past themselves. You feel me? All right, that's it and that's all. I kept you almost an hour. We love you a long time. I'm rooting for you. Keep your head up. It's gonna be all right. Just think on these things and ask yourself the hard questions. I may be back and continue this conversation, but I don't know. It's like beating a dead horse sometimes, you know. People say that they want the knowledge, but do they really want the knowledge? I don't know. Anyway, Blended Healing signing off. Be well, stay safe. Ashe and Deep L. Be the best person that you can be. Your best today may not be your best tomorrow or was yesterday. But as long as you put yourself and do the best that you can, then you're always going to be on top. Ashe.
Yeah, they lit the sky like the world's on fire. Same old cry, same tired choir. I ran through the night with a cape on tight. Thought they wanted change, nah, just another fight. Cliff up ahead, seen it all before. Same sad story, same revolving door. Run to the rescue, patch up the pain. Next day comes, they do it again. Stop mid-stride, heart went cold. This hero life done got too old. Flip that switch, let the signal die. Laid down the cape, didn't say goodbye. Gave them the tools, gave game, gave rope. They ain't want work, just drama and hope. I saved a storm, it was killing my peace. So I turned my back, let the chaos cease.
You kill the light, save my life, that's the plan. No more fire drills on demand. If you want out, better learn to fight. 'Cause I'm done being hero every night. Yeah.
Save my life, let the sky go black. No more running through the flames, I ain't coming right back. You want change? Better stand and fight. 'Cause tonight I'm done, yeah, I'm killing that light. Save my life, let the sky go black. No more running through the flames, I ain't coming right back. You want change? Better stand and fight. 'Cause tonight I'm done, yeah, I'm killing that light. No cape on my back, yeah, I walked through the rain. Cut ties with the drama, broke chains from the pain. They gon' call it cold, they gon' call it a sin. But I done saved the same world time and again. Now I'm choosing my peace, yeah, I'm guarding my space. No more sprinting through fires just to fall out of place. If the bridge keeps burning, let the ashes stay. I ain't dying on a hill, they keep building this way. Now the nights stay quiet, no lights in the sky. Ain't no call for a hero, no reason to fly. They can stand on their own, yeah, the tools been there. But they rather call me back just to prove I care. I done gave all the game, every map, every key. If they stay in the storm, that ain't on me. I'ma ride for my peace, keep my soul intact. Once the cape hit the ground, I ain't taking it back, never.